for?
We are Movie Menu Reviews, your source for movie news and reviews. On today's menu, we'll be reviewing Parasite, Marriage Story, and Queen and Slim. Welcome, ladies and gents. I'm Dan the Man Muñoz, host of Movie Menu Reviews, your weekly movie news and reviews podcast, live on Facebook. Sorry we're a little late than planned. We were having some technical difficulties.
Live for a second time.
And if you watched our live feed for that was going on for 30 minutes without us realizing that we were live. Thanks for sticking it out with us.
Yeah. They're like, what are they reviewing? They haven't said a word in 20 minutes. What's happening? It's the silent podcast.
Basically, we just have you guys watch us so you can get bored and fall asleep.
That was the concept.
So Nosy today, as he was not invited to today's episode. No, I'm just kidding. But joining me today is my co-host Mike Stan.
Yay!
Thank you so much, Mike. And I also want to give a shout out to Eric, that guy.
Yeah, that one guy right there helping us out.
Thank you for helping us out.
Yeah.
All right, so we have quite a few stuff to cover in a really short amount of time. So first thing we're going to do is go over some trailer reviews. So the first trailer that came out this week that we want to talk about is the Mulan trailer. Based on actual events that happened, but also it's also one of Disney's animated films that they have turned into now a live-action film. Mike, what did you think about the live-action trailer for Mulan?
When I first heard that they're going to make a live-action version of this, I had mixed feelings about it, and I was like, I don't know, whatever. But it looks pretty fun. It looks pretty awesome.
I dig the look of it, and I also enjoy. So there's no Mushu dragon, that's Eddie Murphy, but they have a witch, and they have more fantastical elements to it as well. Like they have magic involved, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, I think it's going to be fun. I think it looks super cool.
Some people that were upset is because Mulan had really good music because it was kind of a musical film as well. Oh. And this one, it seems like it's straying away from the musical aspect of it.
I'm okay with that.
I know you're okay with that. But actually, I'm okay with it too because it looks like they are going to try to do it justice. So I'm actually happy with the film. It looks really, really well done.
You know what? If I wouldn't have known it was a Disney film beforehand, I wouldn't have guessed that. Like just seeing the trailer, I wouldn't guess it was a Disney film. Does it look like your typical Disney film?
No, it doesn't. And it looks like it is like almost in the vein of like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. Almost.
Yeah. I kept thinking that, and I was like, I don't know if I should compare it to that, but since you said it, I can I can now not feel
blame
guilty.
Me.
I could now not feel guilty in comparing it to that. So thank you, Dan, for.
I know. Well, I mean, it's good that Disney is being inclusive, but I also like the fact that stealing genres as well. But the movie does look good. I'm excited for it. The next movie we're going to talk about is No Time to Die trailer. The new James Bond trailer came out, starring Daniel Craig. What did you think about the trailer for that film as well?
I enjoy the Bond films in general, and we see Christoph Waltz returning as well, which I think is great. And I'm always enjoying the series. This is Daniel Craig's last film as Bond,
that's basically,
right?
Yeah, his last film. But it still continues from Spectre. Obviously, since we have Christoph Waltz in the film, but we also have the new villain, which we'll see. We didn't see much, but we did see a little bit of Rami Malek.
That's
wearing
right.
The mask. Then we also have a newcomer. I believe it's Lashana Lynch, who, if you remember, she played Monica Rambeau in Captain Marvel. She was Captain Marvel's best friend. She's a new 00. So I think that's kind of cool that they have her in there, as well as this Ben Whishaw, Naomi Harris, Jeffrey Wright, and Ray Fiennes. So it looks like it's going to be it's for the 25th anniversary
Okay.
Or the 50th anniversary, maybe. Or maybe like the 100th anniversary. I forget. But it's pretty like
The 200th anniversary.
to when James Bond was created.
It's just a James Bond mythology of like
75th anniversary. I think it is the 75th anniversary. I could be wrong though.
Also, this should be mentioned that this is directed by Fukunaga, the same director as Beasts of No Nation. So I wanted to throw that out there if you guys have seen that. So
yeah, Kei Fukunaga. He also directed
tons of other cool films.
Yeah, a lot of stuff.
No, he's done a mixture of television. He's done True Detective, and I'm a big. Yeah, I've just been enjoying all of the James Bond films, so I think I'm definitely looking forward to this.
I agree. I think I have enjoyed the Bond films as well, and since this is Daniel Craig's last film, quote unquote, I am sure it's going to go out with a bang. So I'm quite excited for it.
Yeah.
And then the last trailer we're going to go over is Wonder Woman, 1984. Mike, what did you think of that?
So trailer? I think this is a continuation with the whole 80s theme, which has been popularized by It Follows and Stranger Things. And so I think it looks fun. The action looks amazing. I think this is going to be better than the other one. Better than the first Wonder Woman.
One?
Yeah.
I think this is going to be a lot of fun too. And they have in Wonder Woman, the cast is great. They have Pedro Pascal and they have Kristen Wiig as Cheetah, which she had some funny moments already in that. Uh-huh. And then the action looks great. I think Patty Jenkins is doing such a great job with the action in the films. Using the lasso. What do you think about Chris Pine returning as Steve Trevor?
Yeah, I'm curious how they're gonna put that in the plot line. Do you already know how he's brought back?
No, I don't.
I was like, I don't understand why he's alive.
It's a comic book. No one ever really dies.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
But
they're gonna.
It does look pretty good.
But I think Chris Pine and Gal Gadot, like just them going back and forth with each other, I think it'll be really fun. So
I agree.
Yeah.
And I like the fact that they have they still show flashbacks, so we get to know more of who Wonder Woman is. And but yeah, I'm looking forward to. I want to see Cheetah in her full like evilness, because that's like Wonder Woman's rival.
Gotcha.
Cheetah.
Okay,
and I want to know more about Pedro Pascal's character, Max Lord. We'll see what goes on.
All right.
So that's our reviews for the trailers. We are going to gear up and talk about some movies. Movie menu. So the first film we're reviewing is Parasite, written and directed by Bong Joon-ho and written also by Jin Won-han. Here's the plot. All unemployed, the Ki Taek and his family take peculiar interest in the wealthy and glamorous Parks as they integrate themselves into their lives and get entangled in an unexpected incident. Starring Kang Ho-sung, Sung Kyen-yi, Leo Jeong-jo, Woo Sik Choi, So Dam Park, Hai Jin Jang. All right, Mike. So depending on our spoiler-free review, we should decide if this movie is worth the dining and watch in theaters, take out, way to watch it at home, or leftovers. Integrate your life into someone who would never see this film.
Oh, okay.
So go ahead and rate this film.
All right, this movie is a dine-in, for sure. So.
I agree. This movie is definitely a dine-in. It is a very well done, well executed, well plotted film, and it takes you on a roller coaster ride of where you think you might know where it's going, and then totally flips on its head.
Yes, which we won't spoil for you guys. Yeah. So, as Dan had mentioned for the plot, so you have this actor. So you have this guy who pretends to be a college tutor, and this whole family, they're basically con artists. So, and they're slowly.
Well, the thing is, they're really, really, really poor, and so they use they use what they can do to try to survive, and they get a break by tutor. The son gets kind of a break by tutoring one of the kids, and then this whole situation happens within the family. They end up the reason I call Parasite is because one family is basically leeching off another family.
Pretty much. And they're just slowly infiltrating in this rich family.
But it's fun to see them
it is
infiltrate the family.
It's fun to see it unravel and how they sabotage other employees of this rich family who are taking care of the house. And I would call this a dark comedy or black comedy for sure.
It is because it's funny. There was a lot of funny moments in this that it was surprising because I expected this foreign film to be like dramatic, a very drama piece. It won the or is it Palm?
Yeah, Palme d'Or.
Palme d'Or. Thank you.
Yeah, no
I can't talk. It won the Palme d'Or, and I was like, oh wow, this movie is probably like a dramatic masterpiece, which it is, but it's also comedic in ways that you wouldn't expect it to be.
Yes. So, and as Dan had mentioned before, there's a lot of surprises in this, unexpected funny moments. There's a lot of satire going on between the rich and the poor as well.
But it's a great commentary on that.
It is, absolutely. And and I think this is probably one of my top films of this year so far.
Yeah, it will definitely leave you thinking about this film. Like you'll be thinking about this film for quite some time after you leave it.
Yeah, and if you're not familiar with this, with the director, he's also done the South Korean horror film called The Host,
which is funny because we've talked about this.
Yes,
I didn't like The Host.
Yeah,
and I quite enjoyed this one. He also did Okja.
Okja, yes.
He wrote the screenplay.
Snowpiercer.
He did Snowpiercer,
and as well as Mother, which
not Darren Aronofsky's Mother.
Yes,
which is Mother. That one's Mother.
Yeah.
This one's just Mother.
Yes, which I highly recommend as well. If you ever get an opportunity to see it, last I checked, it was streamable on Netflix. I definitely recommend that one as well.
Mother.
So, yes, Mother. Not Darren Aronofsky's, but not Mother, but Mother. Yeah.
Is there anything you would like to share, Mike, or talk about?
I think there's, as you mentioned before, it's a good commentary on the dynamics between rich and the poor, and just motivations of. In the end, it's just all about family and them wanting to give a better life for family members and the love for each other, and I think that's just a universal concept, and I think that's one of the powerful messages of this film, and some characters, they kind of, or there's follies on both ends where they're accidentally hurting one another, and without spoiling it, it takes some very bad turns.
It does.
Yeah.
But there's also so much tension going on in this film. So we highly recommend for you to go and enjoy that because the tension is really fun. So.
Yes.
All right. So we're going to move on to the next review.
Movie menu.
So the next review we're doing is Marriage Story, written and directed by Noah Baumbach. Here's the plot. A deconstructive look at a marriage falling apart, starring Adam Driver, Scarlett Johansson, Laura Dern, Ray Liotta, Julie Haggerty, Ozzy Robertson, and Alan Alda. All right, Mike, so depending on your spoiler-free review, we shall decide if this movie is worth the dining and watch in theaters, take out, watch it at home, or leftovers, get divorced from Netflix and never watch it again.
So this is a Netflix film, so you can't really watch it in theaters.
Oh, that's right.
So it'll be like rush to watch it on Netflix
this weekend. Thank you.
Or just wait and eventually watch it, or or just not bother at all, or cancel your Netflix subscription. No, okay, but for me, this I'll say this a takeout. How is it for you, Dan?
I So for acting, I'd say dine in,
Yeah, I agree.
but plot is a takeout.
Yeah.
So this Adam Driver and Scarlett Johansson are getting a lot of Oscar buzz for this film.
Really?
And this film itself is getting a lot of buzz as well. I think the performances
They're fantastic.
They're really, really, really well done.
I mean, that's what makes that's what this film is worth going to see for is these amazing acting performances.
But the story itself, we see a marriage fall apart. We see when they were good, moments that were good, and then it falling apart.
Yeah.
And the one thing that really bothered me in this film, though, is how the child is portrayed. I don't know how it's almost like too wishy-washy with his parents.
Okay. Well, I don't know. I think they do mention that one of the lawyers in the film he mentions he was like your son's just gonna say what you want to hear. So. But
at that point, he wasn't saying anything he wanted to hear. He was being mean to his dad.
He was super mean.
He was
to his
like
dad.
kind of a dick.
Yeah, he was. But to be fair, like so the dad being Adam Driver, who's kind of a jerk to his son as well sometimes too, you know.
Oh, I don't know. He was like really trying to fight for his son. So, I don't know.
You don't think like when in that scene where like his son, he's like get in the car.
Oh, because his son was being a dick.
Was he?
Yeah.
I don't know.
He's so the whole thing is that then also like part of the story is that Adam Driver and Scarlett Johansson, they live in New York, but when they divorce, Scarlett Johansson moves to LA. Mm-hmm. Adam Driver still works and lives in New York, but he has to travel back and forth to LA because they got married in LA. The divorce is going to be in LA, so everything has to happen in LA. So Adam Driver's character has to constantly be coming back and forth. And so he doesn't see his son often as he would want to. So his son starts acting up against him because of it. So, but I was just like, I wasn't happy with the kid.
Okay, I mean, I was like, well, that's how. I mean, that's a lot to put on a little kid in the middle of a divorce. Like, what do they like?
No, but there was like nothing like I'm mad at you, Dad. No, the kid was just being an asshole.
but I feel like that's how a kid would typically act, like during a divorce, like because they have trouble like expressing how they feel, so they'll just act out, you know. And I don't know. Well, we can disagree about that, I guess. But the child character didn't bother me as much. It seemed like a real portrayal of how a kid would act in a divorce, like being forced to pick sides sometimes, and like one parent trying to or both parents trying to fight for the love of the child, and at the same time they're doing, Adam Driver and Scarlett Johansson's characters are trying to do the best they can to just not like totally ruin their child's life or drag him out through this divorce that's happening, which at some point it starts getting nastier and nastier, and you know, so I don't know what
I don't agree.
So the father says, "Get in the fucking car." So if a guy's telling, I don't know, any father, and then he's like, "I don't mean to talk like that, but get in the fucking car," and he says it again, and the kid's just like, "Okay." I don't know. I think that's pretty intense for a father to say to his child, even if the child is acting out. I think that's intense communication to your son. You know. Yeah, I think.
Stop acting like an asshole. Just kidding.
Who's which Scarlett Johansson says in another scene, and the lawyer's like, when they're doing like a mock interview of because she's going to be interviewed by like a family therapist, and the lawyer, Scarlett Johansson's lawyer, is like, "Don't call your son an asshole." He's not. I feel bad for the kid.
No, I didn't. I was like, why are they fighting for him? Like, give him up. This little shit.
I was like, I don't know. I don't know.
But
maybe I related more. I don't know.
I guess maybe because you're an asshole.
Yeah, I guess. Okay.
Really quick, I just want to give a shout out to Sharon, who was a big Joker fan.
Hi,
We're not
Sharon.
reviewing the Joker, but we were asked to. Hey, Sharon, who's
Hi, Sharon. Thank you.
technically like my sister-in-law. So,
Hey, cool.
and Carla. Hey, Carla.
Hi, Carla.
But I guess we both are understanding that it's basically a takeout.
Yeah. I totally agree with you that the performance in these are great, and I wouldn't even like it. There's a great cast in this as well,
Right, like Ray Liotta is really well done. Laura Dern is really good.
Yeah, who play the
lawyers?
Yeah, play the lawyers. Yeah, and Adam Driver and Scarlett Johansson are amazing in
They
this.
have really good chemistry.
Yeah. They're watching their scenes. Yeah, it was fantastic.
And it was funny. We saw an interview with Ozzy Robertson, and before the Halloween before he got the cast in the film, he dressed up as Kylo Ren.
Yeah, that's
and
funny.
so for him when he got the role, all his friends were like, "You're gonna act with Black Widow and Kylo Ren?
Yeah.
That's so cool."
That
just talks about the generation.
I would totally be bragging too if I was his age.
We say take out, wait. No rush to watch a Marriage Story. Though you should watch it, especially for awards season, because I'm sure it will come up because the performances are good. I will also talk about Noah Baumbach's directing. There were moments in the movie where it was all one shot. So it was almost like there was a moment where Scarlett Johansson is basically in the lawyer's office where she's with Laura Dern. It's just one shot the whole time, and it's like she does the whole talking. Laura Dern doesn't talk at all, so it's one big monologue. And the great thing I like about the film is that Adam Driver's character is a theater director, and Scarlett Johansson is an actress in the film. But the way that they staged the film, a lot of it's very theatrical because it's a lot of one continuous shots. Like it's all one big monologues. So that style itself is also really beautifully shot and well directed.
I got one question for you, Dan. What was it about the plot that bothered you?
I don't know. The kid.
It was just the kid.
Yeah.
So if they would have gotten rid of the kid, no, I'm just kidding. But so it was just.
Well, I just felt like, I mean, I guess I haven't been through the situation, so I can't really speak of it. But for me to sympathize with a kid is like for the kid to try to sympathize with the parents.
I see. But I mean, yeah.
And like the kid had no feelings, no remorse towards his mom or dad who were going through this divorce.
Well, yeah. I mean,
maybe I'm just a person who I'm like, I feel bad for people, and I'll be like,
everybody
sorry,
but
Mom.
children.
Yeah. Well, children that are not entitled.
Okay.
So I don't know. That was my hard to get over that.
Okay, so that was ultimately what made it a takeout for you, was the writing specifically about the child character.
Right.
Got you. Okay.
If it was just to deal with the relationship, then they would have been fine.
Yeah, but there are some very funny moments in this as well. It's not
is.
and I don't know if it's really spoiler. Should I just talk about it anyways? It's
Quickly.
It's a wound, a scene about a wound. Is that spoiler? I'm going to talk about it. I don't care.
It kind of is.
It is?
Yeah, because the whole setup is that that never happened, and it happens to happen.
Oh, okay.
So.
Well, I'll leave it out then. All right.
Yeah. It is kind of a spoiler.
All right. I'm sorry. We're like dancing around. We're dancing around topics, and they're like, "What the hell? What the hell are these guys talking about?" So,
if you want to know, go watch the film.
Yeah, there's basically a scene in here which is basically, I felt like it was a perfect metaphor of what it's like for a parent going in the middle of a divorce, and they're trying to protect their children from the pain that they're going through. So it's like a parent that's pretending they're fine, and they're really not fine at all, and they're falling apart inside. But they're like things are good, but really they have a big gaping wound inside that they're in pain and torture for. So I thought that was like, it was both like heartbreaking and hilarious at the time. I won't ruin it too much for. I guess I kind of ruined it already. I don't care.
No,
It's a reason to watch. It's one of the reasons to watch this film. So,
all right, let's move on. So we say take out for A Marriage Story. All right, the next movie we're going to review.
Movie menu
Is Queen and Slim, directed by Melina Matsoukas, screenplay by Lena Waithe. Here's the plot. A couple's first date takes an unexpected turn when a police officer pulls them over. Starring Daniel Kaluuya, Jodie Turner-Smith, Bokeem Woodbine, Chloe Sevigny, and Flea. All right, so Mike, depending on your spoiler-free review, we shall decide this movie is worth a dine-in and watch in theaters, take out, wait and watch it at home, or leftovers, go on the run to avoid this film.
all right, I'm gonna say take out.
Really? I'm going to say dine-in.
Okay.
I think this film, is beautifully shot, beautifully acted. The plot itself, shows the ugly side of America, basically, or the ugly side of racism. So,
yeah.
And I think it's a film really worth watching and really digesting what you're watching as well.
Yeah, it's interesting. The film almost felt like a play to me. I don't know if you had the same feeling or like. So our two leads. The main focus is our two leads, Queen and Slim, and like I feel like they're the most developed out of this whole world that we see, and I feel like almost like some of the other characters almost are caricatures in a way, and that's kind of like a little bit of what took me out of this movie, where like the journey that they're going on is like meeting all these like interesting characters or bizarre characters.
I would disagree because the whole uncle and that whole sequence and the characters, like the woman with the curly hair, she wasn't a caricature. She was someone who was not anything like you would expect someone in her situation to be like.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, it wouldn't be spoilers to talk about the uncle, really.
No.
Yeah. So the uncle is a pimp, and he has a brothel, an illegal brothel, and so he has his women around, and there are there's some tender moments between one of the women that are one of the sex workers in the brothel and Queen, or as we'd call Queen, and you kind of see humanity with her, and I'd agree with you that, but I'd agree with you that she isn't a caricature, but in general, like just you're introduced to this like crazy pimp like slapping his women around to like these like to like what I would suspect to be like you don't see the transactions take place, but like maybe a drug dealer. I don't know. You see lots of money. I don't
right
to like. I think I know it's hard for me to talk about because I know it's a very political, touchy subject. But I think, I mean, of course, the cops. It paints a bad picture with the cops, specifically with white cops, and of course.
But that was the intention of the film because
of course
the past.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And then I like not that it shouldn't be talked about or that it isn't an important subject, but I think making caricatures of that makes makes a complex situation way more simplified.
But I don't think it's a caricature in the sense where. I'm not sure, Mike, if you've seen videos or not where the cops are harassing people of color.
No, absolutely. I'm not saying that doesn't happen.
But that's how they are. So it's not so much a caricature as a true depiction that isn't shown in the media as often because cops are supposed to protect and serve.
Yeah.
But in this film, it shows a side that is very true.
No, I agree, but I think that like.
And it's literally like maybe a 15-minute moment because of them pulling him over, and then
I'm not saying that like that's not like situations that have actually happened and do continue to happen, and not that like.
And then you remember what states they were in as well.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But I feel like the depiction of like, I feel like in this, it's tough.
It is. I think
it's tough for me to.
I think it had balls to portray it that way, and I enjoyed it for that. For me, it wasn't a caricature at all. It was raw honesty that we're seeing. People who've experienced this ongoing situation are telling us their story to watch, and raw with how they've experienced it. And I thought it was really, really well done.
Okay.
I thought Lena Wraith, who is such a great actress, if you guys have seen Ready Player One, they're amazing in it. So I would highly, but Lena Wraith is such a talent, and I thought the portrayal of both characters with Daniel Kaluuya and then Jodie Turner-Smith had such great chemistry, especially since in the plot it talks about them being on a date. It was their first date. But these two people are so opposites of who they are. And we see them grow into become Queen and Slim.
Yeah. And it's great to see the chemistry build, and I thought the film did an amazing job in doing that. And you get to see it unfold, and you get to see it feels very unrushed. Like the film really takes its time to build the chemistry between the two.
It really does. And I think that's what the main focus was for, I think, in general. So, because these are the stories, this is the story that we're following is between Queen and Slim and On the Run, which I feel like they also create great tension because you fear for their safety.
Yes.
And, yeah. There's so much I want to talk about, but you can't with so much with the spoiler free review. But I say go watch it in theaters. I think Melina did such a great job directing it, and great performances. And I enjoyed the story. There's only one thing I didn't enjoy, but I don't want to talk about it because it's a spoiler. But other than that, it was. But it was. I didn't like it because it was meant for me not to like it. If that makes sense.
Oh, okay. What you didn't like about the film,
right?
Okay.
It was. I'm sure it was intentionally for me not to like it.
Okay.
Because of the injustice and whatnot that's going on. So
got you.
But the film itself is great. I highly recommend it. And so yeah.
Okay. All right.
So, what do you think, Mike? That's.
I think that's fair. I agree with you that the strength of this film is definitely the chemistry between Daniel Kaluuya and
Kaluuya.
Excuse me, Kaluuya. I'm sorry, Daniel Kaluuya and Jodie Turner-Smith. And just the chemistry between the two of them is the strength of this film for sure, as it should be. So that would definitely be a reason to watch this film for sure.
Definitely. So we say dine in for Parasite, take out for Marriage Story, and we're split.
That's okay. You're the host, so.
So we say dine in for Queen and Slim. Thank you so much for watching us live, and thank you so much, Mike, for being here.
Oh, thank you, Dan, for showing up.
Of course. Thank you, Eric, that one guy.
Yeah, thank you,
so
that
much.
one guy.
And I'm Dan the Man Muñoz, host of Movie Menu Reviews. We say please visit our website, moviemenupodcast.com, so you can listen to our latest reviews, interviews. We have other items on there like rants and video reviews that are fun that me and Mike used to do. We used to do sketches when we reviewed films. So go watch it on our website. Also follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, obviously. Hopefully you're following us on Facebook. Subscribe to us on iTunes, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, SoundCloud, Google Podcasts, or wherever you listen to your podcasts. Please subscribe to us, like, comment, share. We'd really appreciate it. And thank you, Mike. And thank you, Eric. Until next time, I'm Dan the Man saying goodbye.
2, 3, 4. Yes,